Guys, so we're going to talk about something that's really, really important, and that is body recomposition. What is it? How do we do it? Who can do it? Why? Everything about it. Okay, so we're just going to start, I guess, with what it is. So body recomposition is when you can change your body fat percentage and muscle gain your body composition at the same time. So essentially you can lose weight and build muscle at the same time. Are you freaking kidding me? Of course we all want to do that. So I'm going to get into it, who it's best for, who will just kind of benefit from it more, who can actually do it, and who is just kind of spinning their wheels trying to do it, when you'd be better off committing to either a fat loss goal or a muscle building goal. Okay, so I have some notes. Basically, I already explained what it is, so I'm going to get into the order of who can do it. Who can do it and be most successful. So I'm going to start by who will be the most successful and can definitely do this, whatever, and then we're going to go down from there to who is better off prioritizing either a fat loss phase or a muscle building phase or whatever. Okay, so the number one person who can absolutely do this, get it done, crush it, benefit the most from a body recomposition is somebody who is previously trained and has since gone through something, whatever happened, put on some body fat, whatever, but was formally trained to like past an intermediate level, basically. Those people can body recomp fairly easly, because there's a lot of muscle memory going on. They have a lot of, number one, experience. They know what they're doing because they've done it before. And like I said, muscle memory happens. Like if you know how to properly perform movements and you have these, proper previous like habits in place, then you're going to be more successful of just kind of jumping back in. And your body will be able to progressively overload a little bit faster. You'll be able to do all of these things a little bit faster, and your body can body recomp fairly, I wouldn't say easily, but I will use myself as an example. That's pretty much what I did postpartum. I took like a year, maybe over a year, and just body recomped. I wasn't like I was building muscle and losing fat kind of at the same time. But that's because I spent 9 years before that following a program, being physically fit. So it was easier, I would say, for me to just like kind of jump back in there, and my body responded really well to it. So that's the number one, like most successful person is going to be at body recomp. Number two, we have overweight beginners. So if you're overweight and you're just getting started to strength training, you will body recomp at the same time. It's a lot easier for you to do that because you can build muscle on slightly fewer calories just because you don't have much muscle to start with. Okay, so overweight beginners can do this too. Now, once you start to get to intermediate and then advanced trainees, it drops off a lot. Just so many things are going on with your body. You don't have a lot of body fat if you're in an intermediate or advanced, like athlete, whatever person, physically fit person. You don't have much to work with. So you kind of have to choose one. You want to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight, but you're not eating enough calories to put on muscle. So you can't really body recomp at that. People who, like I said, have more body fat, or are previously trained, they can eat more of like in a maintenance almost, and so that way they can put on muscle. They have a lot of fat to lose, so that's easier for them to do that. But if you're at the brink of borderline, intermediate, advanced, it's going to be a lot harder. It's not impossible, but it's going to happen so freaking slow that if you care, if you want to see some faster progress, you're better off, okay, I'm going to go through a fat loss phase for 12 weeks, and then I'm going to go through a building phase where I'm going to be in a calorie surplus, putting on muscle, putting on a little bit of fat along the way to build muscle for like the next 4 to 6 months, whatever. So intermediate and advanced, you're better off going that way unless you literally just don't care and you're just like, I don't care how fast this happens, I'm just going to keep doing it. Okay, that's the order of how it, who can be most successful at it. Okay, so now we kind of talked about the why already. Why would you want to do this? Obviously, it's easier. If you can build muscle and lose fat at the same time, you're doing two things at once. That's what everybody wants to do. People don't want to just lose weight. They say, I want to lose weight. What they mean is, I want to lose fat and I want to look toned or, lean or whatever you want to call it. So by doing that at the same time, you're cutting out so much, you're saving so much time essentially, because an intermediate and an advanced trainee will, like I said, have to go through a 12-week fat loss phase and then go through a 4 to 6 month build phase to put on muscle. So take advantage of it. If you're in your beginner stage, like run right now and take advantage of this, okay? Okay, so how do you do this, right? Even if you're, more inclined to be successful at doing it, that doesn't mean you don't have to do anything. You're just like, oh, my body's just going to do this naturally because I'm a beginner and I have some body fat to lose. That's not going to happen. You have to put in some effort. So where does that effort come from? Make sure your calories are in check. So you can do this at maintenance. If you have a lot of body fat to lose, I've seen it done at maintenance, and everybody's different. So, so you can do this at maintenance, or you can do it in a slight calorie deficit. It will still work because your muscles are not trained. So when your muscles are untrained, they will respond to pretty much any stimulus you give them. They're going to respond because they're untrained. So yeah, maintenance, you could do this at maintenance if you wanted to. So like I said, if you're a beginner, take advantage of this moment. You can eat at your maintenance calories. You don't have to necessarily be in a calorie deficit if you're a beginner, or if you're previously trained and have some body fat to lose, and your body will recomp. You will put on muscle and lose weight at the same freaking time. So that you have to make sure you're prioritizing your strength training. Obviously, it's not just going to come to you. You have to make sure you're strength training at least 3 to 4 times a week and really pushing your sets, 2 to 3 reps close to failure, really pushing it every workout. Sleep and recovery. Like, I have never been more of a sleep and recovery person since postpartum, because I'm not kidding you. My son did not sleep for the first year of his life. Finally, he turned 1 July 6th. I remember the day. I remember this day. It was such an important day in my life. Okay? He was born June 15th. On July 6th, we decided to sleep train him. Let him cry it out. He slept through the night ever since. Okay? And when I'm telling you, I was working out that, I started working out 6 weeks after. I mean, obviously I took my time. I went through, a postpartum program that I have. I did all of that. I rebuilt a lot of my, inner core muscles before I started doing any heavy strength training. But at that point, I was a year in. I was doing my strength training. I was deadlifting, overhead pressing, rows. I was doing everything, right? And when I tell you a switch flipped in my life and my recovery, and my body just started functioning so much better. I had so much energy, and I was making better food choices because I wasn't so tired. And all of that, my sleep led to my body being able to recomp in about 6 months. And it was just wild how it happened as soon as I started sleeping through the night. I'm not even kidding. As soon as I started sleeping through the night. So sleep is so important, guys, okay? Don't minimize sleep. Don't think you're going to kill yourself in the gym and that's what's going to do it. That is going to obviously help. You need to stimulate your muscles. But if you're not properly recovering, you're just spinning your wheels here, okay? So, and then, the thing is, too, a lot of people will start tracking their calories if they want to do a body recomp. They're a beginner or whatever. They're just getting started. They'll start tracking their calories maybe for the first time. And mentally, I've never had someone come to me who's trying to lose weight, never, and say, I eat too much. I'm not even kidding. I've been doing this for 10 years. Maybe I've had a few people who are just I just overindulge on the candy, but I've never had anybody say I eat too much. Everybody always says, I barely eat anything. I don't eat. I have toaster strudel for breakfast, and then I don't eat lunch, and then whenever I come home, I pick a little bit of dinner with my family. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense because that can't happen. So it's very common for us to think we don't eat anything because maybe you're not sitting down for a proper meal, but you're picking all day long because there's no way that's happening and you're gaining weight. Or maybe that's 1 to 3 days of your week because you're so busy, but then the other 4 days of the week, you are a completely free-for-all and you're eating 4,000 calories, So anyways, that wasn't the point. But most people think they're under eating. And when you start putting yourself on a program, especially if you're a beginner and you start tracking for the first time, and I a lot of times I'll give people their calories and they're like, this is way too many calories. And I'm like, no, it's not. You're probably eating more than that. You just don't know it. And that's the thing. We think that we're not eating a lot, and maybe in the quantities of food we're not eating a lot, but the quality, you are overeating in calories, fat, sugar, carbs, everything. You're overeating in all categories, but you just don't think you are. So what happens is nothing magical happens with it's not a magic thing happening. What's happening is that you're actually tracking and you're being consistent. So instead of having 1,000 calories Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then 4,000 calories Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you're actually having 2,000 calories Monday through Sunday, and that's actually overall for the week, that's less calories. So you feel like you're eating more, but you're eating less calories. I hope that made freaking sense, okay? All right, so you're just more aware basically of what you're doing. So that's it. I'm not gonna keep rambling. Basics, remember, you can body recomp if you are a previously trained like person, you've been physically fit before, you've had some strength, you've got whatever, physically fit. You know what physically fit means, okay? And then you've added some body fat. You can body recomp at like maintenance or a very, very low calorie deficit. Overweight beginners can body recomp, again, at maintenance or a little bit of a calorie deficit. It starts to get harder to do this when you're more intermediate. It is possible, obviously. It's just going to be very, very slow. Advanced, it's next to near, you're not going to notice much at all, honestly, from year to year, because you're such an advanced athlete. So you're better off going through a calorie deficit phase and then going through a build phase. But anyways, I hope that helps. I hope that was useful to you. If you have any questions, if I left anything out, I tried to just get like the gist of it out there, not ramble. And if you're interested in doing this, you're maybe a previously trained person, or you're an overweight beginner, then I can certainly help you through this and walk you through it, and you can body recomp. And then if you're more intermediate and advanced person, I can still help you, but we'll have to choose whether we want to go on a deficit or whether we want to build. Again, unless you just don't care how long it takes you. So anyways, all right, I'm out. Thank you so much for staying this long. That ring behind me is driving me crazy, but you got the point. Okay, bye.